Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, Anurag. Okay. Okay, Adarsh. So only 16 are here. Please tell others to join first. So I'll share my screen now. Is it audible to you? Or is there any echo? Am I audible to you? So please tell others to join first. Okay, I'm going to start the next section. Lattice. So let us see what lattice is. So write the heading lattice. So in the previous class, we had studied what Hasse diagram is, and we had studied how to find the least upper bound and the greatest lower bound of the Hasse diagram, isn't it? Do you remember? Some questions were given to you to work out as tutorial questions and submit it in your tutorial book, okay? So let us see what lattice is. So, starting with a small example, see, look at this example, okay? Lattice. So, in this lattice, what is a lattice? See, we have a partially ordered set A and with the relation less than or equal to. It is a partially ordered set. So, if it is a partially ordered set, then it satisfies the three properties reflexive, antisymmetric, and transitive property as we know. And if it satisfies these properties, then this poset can be represented using a Hasse diagram, isn't it? So the Hasse diagram for the particular set A is equal to 1 to 6 under the relation A divides B is shown below. That is, you have a relation on the set A such that if we're considering each element, it divides the next element. So we get a set of ordered pairs, and from the set of ordered pairs, in order to draw the Hasse diagram, we eliminate those ordered pairs that satisfies the reflexive property and also those that satisfy the transitive property. So those edges, once you're given a relation, we first draw the directed graph, and from the directed graph, we eliminate those edges that satisfy reflexive and transitive properties, and we get the Hasse diagram. And the similar Hasse diagram for this particular set under the relation A divides B is shown below. So after eliminating all the reflexive and transitive edges, the remaining ordered pairs that we get are 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 6, and 3, 6. These are the remaining ordered pairs for this particular set under the relation A divides B. That is 1 divides 2, 1 divides 3, 1 divides 5, then 2 divides 4, 2 divides 6, then 3 divides 6. These are the ordered pairs which we had obtained after eliminating those that satisfy the reflexive and transitive properties. So now let us see how to draw, how this essay diagram is drawn. Okay. So looking at the ordered pairs, we find that there is 1, 2 is an edge, isn't it? The first ordered pair is 1, 2. So we have to first see that all these points are, all these edges are directed upward. So we put the 1 here, and 1 is related to 2, and 1 is related to 3, also 1 is related to 5. So we have to draw them above 1. So 2 is here, then 3 and 5. So draw edges from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and 1 to 5. Next is 2 to 4. So 4 should come above 2. Anywhere above 2 you can draw 4. So from 2 to 4 you get another edge. Then next is from 2 to 6. So next again you are drawing an edge from 2 to 6. Then last is 3 to 6. So from here I have drawn an edge from 3 to 6 also. So this is the diagram. This is the Hasse diagram for this particular set A under the relation A divides B. Now let us see what are the least upper bounds and greatest lower bounds for each pair of elements in this Hasse diagram. So considering any two pairs, now let us take the pair 2, 3. So for the pair 2, 3, we find that the least upper bound of 2, 3. What is the least upper bound of 2, 3? This is 2 and this is 3. And 2 is related to 6, 3 is also related to 6. And only one element is the upper bound of 2, 3. And so the least upper bound of 2, 3 is 6. And also let us find what is the greatest lower bound of 2, 3. So lower bound of 2, 3 is one that is less than 2, 3, isn't it? So in the lower bound, 2 is related to 1 and 3 is also related to 1. And only this pair of element has only one lower bound, and that is the least that is the greatest lower bound. Below those elements that come below it are called lower bounds, and we have only one element, and the greatest lower bound is also that element. Okay, now this pair 2, 3 has a upper bound and has a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. Now let us take another two elements, another two pair in this Hasse diagram. For example, let us take 3 and 5. Okay, now looking at 3 and 5, what is the upper bound of 3? What is the upper bound of this pair 3 and 5? What is the upper bound of 3 and 5? Can anyone say what is the upper bound of 3 and 5? Upper bound of 3 and 5 means those elements to which 3 and 5 are related. What is the upper bound? Can anyone say what is the upper bound of 3 and 5? What is the upper bound of 3 and 5? Hello. What is the upper bound of 3 and 5? Is there any upper bound for 3 and 5? No. Why? Because there is no element above 3 and 5 to which 3 and 5 is related. So there is no upper bound for 3 and 5. So the upper bound of 3 and 5 is nil, isn't it? There is no upper bound for 3 and 5. Therefore, the least upper bound, there doesn't exist a least upper bound for 3 and 5. Least upper bound of 3 and 5 is nil, because 3 is not related to any element, 5 is also not related to any element. So looking similarly, if we look at 4 and 6 also, there is no upper bound. It is not related to any elements above it. So there is no least upper bound for 4 and 6 also, isn't it? So For this Hasse diagram to be a lattice, for each pair of element, it should have a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. For this Hasse diagram to be a lattice, each pair of element in the Hasse diagram should have a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. So is this a lattice? So is this a lattice? Can we consider this as a lattice? Can we consider it as a lattice? Anyone? Can we consider it as a lattice? Now please respond, okay? Can we consider this as a lattice? Looking at this, we find that it has a least element. So from Hasse diagram, we can easily identify the lowest element is the least element, and that is 1. And the maximal elements, you have 3 maximal elements, so 4, 6 and 5. But since there are 3 elements, you don't have a greatest element. Greatest element is not there since there are 3 elements. If greatest element exists, then there should be only 1. Here there are maximal elements 4, 6 and 5, but there is no greatest element. Minimal element is 1 and the least element is also 1. There are no other elements, so the least element is also 1. So greatest element is nil. Maximal elements are 4, 6 and 5. Out of 4, 6 and 5, we cannot choose any one because both, all the 3 are equally independent numbers. So you don't have a greatest element, but minimal element, you have only one element. So there is a least element. So in this Hasse diagram, we find that there is no least upper bound for the pairs 3 and 5, and also there is no upper bound for 4 and 6. So from this we can say that this is not a lattice. It is not a lattice. It is not a lattice since for these two pairs 3 and 5 and 4 and 6 there is no least upper bound. No least upper bound. But for it to be a lattice, every pair of elements should have a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. That is the definition of lattice. That is, for a Hasse diagram to be a lattice, every pair of element in the Hasse diagram should have a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear? So when can we call a Hasse diagram as a lattice? When do we call a Hasse diagram as a lattice? All Hasse diagrams are not lattices. Those Hasse diagrams that satisfy this particular property which I had said now is considered as a lattice. So what is that property which I had said now? What is the property which I had said now? Anyone? For a Hasse diagram to be a lattice, what is the property? The main point that we should note when we check if, and you will be given diagrams to check if it is a lattice or not. Hasse diagrams will be given and you will be asked to check if it is a lattice or not. So you have to take each pair of element and check if it has a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. If it exists for all elements, all pairs of elements in the Hasse diagram, then that can be considered as a lattice. If it doesn't exist for any one pair of element, then it cannot be considered as a lattice. Okay. So this in lattice, another point that we should note here is that the greatest lower bound, the GLB, is the greatest lower bound. So the GLB is also called meet, and it is represented as A and B. Suppose you have in this figure the greatest lower bound of 2 and 3. okay, the greatest lower bound of 2 and 3. Here, let us consider 2 and 3. The GLB of 2 and 3 is equal to what? What is the greatest lower bound of 2 and 3? It is equal to 1. So we can represent it as 2. The lower bound is also called meet. Okay, so 2 and 3 is equal to 1. Okay, and this is called meet. The greatest lower bound is also called meet. Okay, so now what is the least upper bound? Least upper bound of 2 comma 3. Least upper bound of 2 comma 3 is equal to 6. Isn't it? Least upper bound of 2 comma 3 is 6. Since 2 is related to 6, 3 is also related to 6, and there are no other elements, so the least upper bound is 6. So this can be represented as 2 or 3 is equal to 6. And this or is also called join. So instead of calling it or, we say 2 join 3 is equal to 6 and 2 meet 3 is equal to 1. So meet and join are the two terms that we use for representing the least upper bound and the greatest lower bound. So these are the two terms which we are going to use again, meet and join. And meet is represented by and symbol, and or is represented by this symbol, or usual and or symbol, or it can also be represented by intersection and union, or can be represented by union and can be represented by intersection. Or another way to represent it is using dot. Multiplication we use dot, so likewise 2 dot 3 is equal to 1, and here instead of or we can use 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. So here the plus represents join and the dot, here the dot represents meet operation. Okay, so lattice can be considered as an algebraic system that consists of a set A and two operations. It can be considered as an algebraic system consisting of a set A and two operations, the meet and join. This forms a system with a set A, a partially ordered set A, and two operations, dot and plus. So instead of dot, we can have, and or you have intersection and union, and these symbols can be used interchangeably, and this is called meet, and union, this is called join. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? So let us see what the other properties of lattice. So when is a poset, a partially ordered set is called a lattice. When it is called a lattice, that is, it should satisfy the following laws. Only then we can consider it as a lattice. The following laws holds for a particular lattice. The definition of lattice says that every pair of elements should have a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. And apart from that, the following laws also are also satisfied in a lattice. That is, law 1 is idempotent law. Idempotent law, which we had studied earlier, x and x is x, x or x is x. So this and or, instead of and or, we represent it as meet, and we call it as meet and join. Meet means the least upper bound and join means the greatest lower bound. This is GLB and this is LUB of the lattice. And in the lattice, we take an element x. X and x gives x, and x or gives x in the lattice. We take any lattice, any element in the lattice, then this property is satisfied. That is, x and x is x and x or x is x. Then that is the first property, idempotent law, which we had studied earlier also. For a lattice, this law is satisfied. Idempotent law is satisfied. Then next, the second law that should be satisfied in a lattice is the commutative law. Now what is commutative law? What is commutative law? What is commutative law? X and Y is equal to Y and X. You might have studied earlier, isn't it? A plus B is equal to B plus A. This is commutative law, isn't it? Or A or B is equal to B or A. And this is commutative law. So for a lattice also, for meet and join operation, these laws are satisfied. Okay, so this is meet operation. So x meet y is the same as y meet x, and x join y is the same as y join x. So these symbols, we call it as meet and join. So whenever you read, you have to read it as meet and join. So x meet y is the same as y meet x, and x join y is the same as y join x. And x and y are two elements in the lattice. We are considering any two elements in the lattice, then x meet y is equal to y meet x, and x join y is equal to y join x. Then the third law that should be satisfied in a lattice is the associative law. Third law. All these laws we have studied earlier, and associative law states that x and y and z is the same as x and y and z. That is, this and can be paired with any term, just like a plus b plus c is the same as a plus b plus c. This is associative law. Or a into b into c is the same as a into b into c. So the order of the numbers or elements can be, the pairing can be changed in associative law. So here for meet and join operation also, the associative law holds in a lattice. So that is, if you take any two elements in a lattice, the meet of x and y, and the meet of x and y together with z is the same as x meet y meet z. So similarly for join also, x join y join z is the same as x join y join z. So we come across these properties in later problems. Okay, so these properties are satisfied in a lattice. Then the fourth law that is satisfied is absorption law. Absorption law also we have studied in the first module. Absorption law, that is x and x or y is equal to x, and x or x and y is also equal to x, and this is called absorption law. Here instead of and or, we call it as meet and join, and we find this meet and join from the given lattice. So these are the four properties that should be satisfied in a lattice. Okay. So what are the four properties that needs to be satisfied in a lattice? What are the four properties that should be satisfied in a lattice? Anyone? For a Hasse diagram to be a lattice, these four properties will be satisfied. Also, each pair of element in the lattice should have a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. Apart from that, these four laws will also be satisfied in a lattice. So what are the four laws? What are the four laws that should be satisfied? Yes, commutative law, then idempotent law, very good, then associative law and absorption law. Very good. These four laws will be satisfied in a lattice. Very good. Absorption law. So if a lattice satisfies all these properties, then we call it as a, if it is a lattice, then it will satisfy all these properties. So here given the definition, a lattice is a poset. A poset means a partially ordered set, which we had studied earlier, in which any two elements A and B, this is the most important point, okay, write it down somewhere. A lattice is a poset in which for any two elements A and B, it has a GLB, also called a meet, represented as A and B, and also a least upper bound called join, represented as A or B. So this is the basic definition of a lattice. A lattice is a poset in which any two elements A and B, any pair of elements A and B, or any two elements A and B have a greatest lower bound and a least upper bound. If any one of them does not exist, then it cannot be called a lattice. In a lattice, for every pair, there should be a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. Now, let us consider some examples. Let us check if the following Heisei diagrams are lattice or not. Some diagrams are given to you, and you have to check whether it is a lattice or not. Now, you can write down the examples. Okay, the first example, let us see. This example we had considered earlier, isn't it? This one we had taken earlier. Is it a lattice? This second example we had taken earlier. Is this one a lattice? Is it a lattice? No. Why? Why it is not a lattice? Taking these two elements, you have to consider all pairs of elements. Okay, when we take these two elements, sorry, not these two. When you take these, what is the least upper bound of these two elements? If we take 3 and 6, what is the least upper bound of 3 and 6? What is the least upper bound of 3 and 6? Here we have a self loop, okay, at 6. So what is the upper bound of 3 and 6? 3 is related to 6 and 6 is related to 6. So the least upper bound of 3 and 6 is 6. Okay. See, the less than or equal to property should be checked. So this element 6, it comes under the upper bound. Okay. Any element above 6, 6 and above 6 comes under the upper bound. So this 6 should be included in the upper bound because we are looking for less than or equal to property. So 3 is related to 6, and also since there is a self loop here which we had removed from the Heisei diagram, 6 is related to 6. So we find that the upper bound of 3 and 6 is 6. And what is the least upper bound? Least upper bound of 3 and 6 is 6. Now what is the greatest lower bound of 3 and 6? See, you should note this, okay? When 3 and 6 are taken, there is a self loop here. There are no elements above it. So you can consider 6 as an upper bound because we are checking for less than or equal to. Okay. Above we are checking for greater than or equal to 6 or above 6. So 6 should be taken because we are looking for greater than or equal to for upper bound. And when we come to lower bound, we are looking for less than or equal to. Okay. So when we consider 6 and 3, the least upper bound is 6. Okay, 6 or above 6. Then there are no elements above 6, so least upper bound is 6. So what is the lower bound of 6 and 3? What is the lower bound of 6 and 3? Greatest lower bound. 3 is related to 1 also, 6 is also. There is a transitive head here we had removed. So 6 is related to 3, 3 is related to 1. So the lower bound of 6 and 3 is 1, and there's only one element, so it is 1. So for this pair 3 and 6, we have lower bound, least upper bound and greatest lower bound. That is satisfied for the pair. This pair has least upper bound and greatest lower bound. But if we consider 3 and 5, is there an upper bound for 3 and 5? Is there an upper bound for 3 and 5? Are these two elements related to a common element? No. So there is no upper bound, which means that it doesn't have least upper bound is nil, isn't it? There is no least upper bound for 3 and 5. So it cannot form a lattice because for every pair we say that there should be a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. So when we look at 3 and 5, it has no least upper bound, which means that this cannot be, the entire thing cannot be considered as a lattice. So if for any pair this doesn't exist, either the least upper bound or the GLB, if doesn't exist for any pair, then we say that it is not a lattice. Likewise, we take 4 and 6, it is not related to any other element. It does not have a greatest least upper bound. So since it doesn't have a least upper bound, this also doesn't obey the law of lattice. So this cannot be considered as a lattice. If it doesn't exist for any one pair, then this cannot be considered as a lattice. So it is not a lattice because the least upper bound of 3 and 5, that is, we represent the least upper bound of 3 join 5 is nil. Okay, the least upper bound of 3 and 5 is denoted by 3 join 5 is equal to nil. Okay, this least upper bound is denoted by the join operation. Then also for 4 join 6 is also nil. The least, this represents least upper bound. Okay, so it is also nil. So if it doesn't satisfy for any one pair, then it cannot be considered as a lattice. So now look at this first example. So you draw this and write the reason down. Okay. Draw this lattice and write the reason. It is not a lattice since the least upper bound of 3, 5, that is 3 or 5. Instead of A and B, we have to substitute the elements. It is equal to nil. Also 4 join 6 is also nil. It does not exist. So for these pairs, if for any one pair it doesn't exist, then it is not a lattice. Now let us consider this example, the first example. So is it a lattice? See, if we take these two elements, its upper bound, the least upper bound is this, and its least and the greatest lower bound is this. Okay. Now, if we consider the next two pairs of elements, that is this and this, its upper bound, the least upper bound is this, and the greatest lower bound is this. Okay. Now, next we consider the next pair of elements. You can take any pair, these two pairs. I said we have to look at equality relation. So this is the least upper bound of these two pairs, and its lower bound is the least greatest lower bound is this point. Okay. Likewise, if we take any pair, I'm taking these two pairs, then the upper bound, since it is less than or equal to, you can check for elements above and including this element. So the upper bound is this element, and the lower bound of these two elements, that this is related to this, and it is the common element, its lower bound is this. This element we cannot take because this is not related to this element. Okay. So if you take any such pair, now if you take these two pairs, what is the upper bound? The least upper bound. What is the least upper bound? This point is the least upper bound. It is related to this, and there is a transitive edge here, so no other element above it, so this can be considered as the upper bound. And for these two, the common lower bound is this. So for any pair of elements, the least upper bound and the greatest lower bound exist in this lattice, so we can consider it as a lattice. So for any two elements, it has a greatest lower bound or a least upper bound, and so it is called as a lattice. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello, is it clear? Okay, for any two pair, if you have a upper bound, least upper bound and a greatest lower bound, for all pairs you should check. If it exists for all pairs, then it is a lattice. If it doesn't exist for any one pair, if at least if a least upper bound or a greatest lower bound doesn't exist for any one pair, then it cannot be considered as a lattice. Now let us look at some more examples. Can you just check if they are lattices? So I've written it there so you can see it. Okay. See, look at this. It is a lattice. Why? Because if we take any pair, you have a least upper, a lower bound, greatest lower bound, and a least upper bound. Okay. So if we take these two pairs, the least, the greatest lower bound is this point. This is the GLB, and its upper bound includes. This is the upper bound, and this is also an upper bound. So for it, this is also an upper bound because you are including equal to relation, isn't it? So greater than or equal to relation. So this is the least upper bound, and you have this element as the least greatest lower bound. So if you look at any pair, this is a chain. If it is a chain, then it is every element in the chain is related to each other. So just remember that by looking at the lattice itself, we can find out. So if it forms a chain like this goes like a chain, and here also you have another chain. We have two chains here. If it is a chain, then each element in the chain is related to each other. Then it forms a lattice. Then another example is the power set. Now power set with three elements. If you draw the diagram, the lattice diagram, power set diagram for a power set with three elements, it looks like a cube. And every element has a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. We will draw this diagram in detail in next section. We will draw this diagram and we can see that for taking any two, now if we take these two pairs, this is the least upper bound and this is the greatest lower bound. Suppose if we take these two pairs, okay, it has a greatest upper bound, least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. So if you take any two pairs in the cube, it has a least upper bound and a greatest lower bound. So it can be considered as a lattice. So any power set of any set can be considered as a lattice. Then next, if you take the last example, can we call it as a lattice? This example, can we call it as a lattice? See, look at these two elements. Its upper bound is this. And also it has another upper bound here also. But these two elements are not related to each other. So it has two upper bounds, isn't it? And we cannot find the least one out of these two. And earlier also we said that if there are more than one maximal elements, then the greatest element cannot be found. Likewise, here it has two upper bounds which are not related to each other or which are incomparable. So out of these two, we cannot say which is the least. So we cannot, for this pair of elements, this ordered pair, there is no least upper bound. And also if we take these two elements, that is this element and this element, this also has two lower bound. This is one lower bound and also this is another lower bound, and these two lower bounds are not related to each other, which means that it has two lower bounds, out of which we cannot select one particular lower bound. So only if there exists a unique lower bound and a unique upper bound, then we can say that it is a lattice. So if the lower bound or upper bound exists, then it should be unique. So if it is not unique, then you cannot select a lower bound or an upper bound if there are more than one. So if for a lattice, if the lower bound or upper bound exists, then it should be unique, and also there will be at the most one upper bound and one lower bound in a lattice. So if there is no upper bound and if there is no least upper bound and no greatest lower bound, then we cannot call it as a lattice. So in this example, there are two least upper bounds for these two elements, and so we cannot consider it as a lattice. So I had written the reason there. Okay, the least upper bound exists, and two least upper bound exists, and that should not, for it to be a lattice, that cannot exist. Two upper bounds cannot exist, and also here two GLBs also exist. Hence, it cannot be a lattice, because there should be only one GLB or one LUB in a lattice for every pair of elements. Is it clear? Is it clear? So we studied what a lattice is. For a what are the properties that should be satisfied by a lattice? And for given a Hasse diagram, you have to identify whether it is a lattice or not. Okay, and lattice will satisfy the following four properties. And to check if it is a lattice, you have to consider each pair of elements in the lattice. And if there is a GLB and an LUB for every pair of elements in the lattice, then every pair of elements in the Hasse diagram, then it can be called as a lattice. If it does not exist, or if there exists more than one least upper bound or greatest lower bound, then it cannot be considered as a lattice. Is it clear? Any doubts? Next, we have to work out some examples. Some questions will be given to you. You have to write down each pair of elements and find out the least upper bound and greatest lower bound. If a unique upper bound, least upper bound, GLB and LUB exist for all pairs, then we say that it is a lattice. If it does not exist, or if there are more than one GLBs or LUBs for a particular pair, then it cannot be considered as a lattice. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Time is from 11:30 to 12:10, isn't it? Say your attendance. Number 1.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5,
6. Absent.
7,
8,
10, 12, 13,
Okay.
13,
15,
16,
17. Absent. 18.
present ma'am.
19. No, say your attendance. 19. Continue. 19 absent.
20,
Okay.
21,
22,
23,
24,
25,
26, 27,
28, 29, 30, 31,
32,
33,
34,
35,
36,
37. Absent.
38,
39,
40.
41.
Okay. Next.
44,
Okay.
46,
47,
48,
49. 49. Absent. 37. Okay.
49,
Then- Okay. 50.
51,
50 absent.
53, 54,
55, 56,
57,
58,
59,
60,
61, 62,
63,
Okay. So absent is number 17 present. Okay. 17. 6 also present, I think. Yeah. 6, 19. 37 present. 49. Number 49. Absent. 50 present. Okay, so all are present today. Thank you.